Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. With Matt Abaticola.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tastes like cigarettes.
And Jason Ferrari.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Two complete nincompoops with microphones and access to the World Wide Web. Presented by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Now, here are your hosts for this shit show, Abaticola and Ferrari.
Hello there, podcast friends, and welcome into another episode of Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. He's Ferrari, I'm Abaticola. We discuss everything. This is the podcast. It's the AFDE show. This is episode number 28. It's called Meatball Juice. Thanks for downloading and being a part of the program. We're brought to you by our good friends, Mickey Finn's. They are the oldest brew pub in Illinois. Check them out at Mickey Finn's on Twitter. MickeyFinnsBrewery.com is their website. You can see all the live events they have each weekend. Great beer on tap. They'll have their March St. Patrick's Day beer will be available for you next time you get in there and hear this podcast.
Is that what it is? No name, just...
No, they have two. They have a red and a stout.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say the names. I don't remember the names.
No.
And
no, but
my phone is too far in my pocket to look up.
It's fine if it's St. Patrick's Day beer. I mean,
yeah.
it really states what it is.
They have two different ones, a stout and a red. They're both delicious. They'll be there next time you get out there after you hear episode 28, Meatball Juice. Again, it's Abaticola Ferrari. You can connect with us several different ways at AFDE Show on Twitter, Facebook.com/AFDE Show, and AFDE Show at gmail.com. So we're glad to have another episode for you. Once again, thanks for downloading and being a part of the program. Remember, tell your friends, family, neighbors, coworkers all about the AFDE Show. Lots to get into. We start off the show in our first segment, stuff this week, and of course, Bears and NFL free agency happening. One of Jason's favorite times of the year.
Yep.
We'll talk about things we watched as well as moderately paced fire questions for our first segment. One thing I do want to address, though, to start off the show are the changes at my previous job, because I've had a lot of people reach out to me on Twitter, on email, on Facebook about the changes at the Score. So just to address a few things, I've addressed a few people individually. No, I was not contacted in any way, shape, or form by the station. Had I been contacted by the station, it would have taken a large six-figure salary to drag me back into the building.
To work 2 hours a week.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened.
six figures to just kind of show up, scratch your nuts, and leave.
If you don't know what did take place, Matt Spiegel and Jason Goff are out as full-time hosts, which is very disappointing to me on several different levels. Connor McKnight returns to the station and is hosting middays now with Dan Bernstein. I'm happy for Connor. Danny Parkins moves to afternoons, and Dan McNeil comes back to the station once again, I think for his third time around, and he hosts afternoons now with Parkins. So it is Mully Hanley, Bernstein, McKnight, Parkins, and McNeil.
Probably switch that order.
Oh, yeah, McNeil and Parkins is what it is, yeah. Listening to a few minutes of the boys this afternoon, I wanted to see if they would address the changes and what took place, and the question was asked. McNeil addressed it. He basically addressed it from the viewpoint of why he was asked back to the station. Jimmy DeCastro, who has had lots of success and several years in Chicago radio. He was there for The Loop years and years ago when it was, Brandmeier and Matthews and Dahl and Gary. So the guy's got a lot of great success. He was also part of The Game, the failed internet radio station that North started up. He was also with WGN. Then he was with, did he go somewhere after GN? Or
NBC.
He got out of radio,
NBC.
I think. Okay. Now he's back with Entercom. In the fall, they hired him as their market manager for the Chicago cluster.
Such a good hire, too.
Yeah, he's a great guy and has, again, a lot of great success. Take the game out of there. But as McNeil addressed it today, that they've known each other 30 years. He asked Mac to come back to the station. He knew that Mac wanted to come back to the station. Mac wanted to get back into the station, so that's how that happened. He said that he was asked back because of a couple different reasons. Number one, Jimmy didn't like the way the station sounded in certain aspects. He knows that Mac brings all sports and has lots of fun and leaves social stuff off the air. Reading between the lines, he clearly did not like Bernstein and Goff would address a lot of social matters. And I had no issue with that. The score has always been you talk about your life and where you are.
It's a sports station, but you have your opinion.
It's entertainment. Yeah. Entertainment radio.
Agreed.
It's a personality radio. They just happen to be under the sports talk umbrella. A lot of people didn't like it, but most people did over the years because it was very successful. Dan had a very successful run in afternoons with Terry, and I thought Jason and Dan had a pretty strong show over the last year. Reading between the lines, I don't think the Castro liked the fact that they talked a lot of social stuff, whether it was on the air or through social media. That's all I take out of it. And Mac, he also said that he was very good in the hallways, and so Jimmy just said, "I want you to come back, have fun, talk sports, and be good for the hallways." Now, Mac, I don't agree with that. Mac wasn't good for the hallways. He wasn't bad for the hallways. He wasn't a negative influence. I think there were some people that resented the fact that he got multiple chances to do shows after the way they all went down in different stations and whatnot. Right. That's not my opinion. That's just I'm telling you what I sensed when I was there for the years I worked with Mac. I always had a great relationship with Mac. I'm glad he's back.
I think it's good radio. Like the choices,
it's fine. As long as it's good. As long as they do good radio.
Good radio.
Whatever.
Right? I mean, like you were there much longer.
I didn't think it was bad before. I thought the lineup they had previously.
Oh no. I mean, but he brings good radio.
Sure.
And I like that he wwent off and he did some other stuff.
Well,
and he started the podcast. He got everything going. He did some, he worked at the Drive. Like I like that. I don't know. I've always liked him.
Yeah, that's fine. And I like Mac too. But my thing, I don't know if it strengthens it because if he doesn't stay, he's not going to strengthen anything.
Well,
if he burns out again and wants to leave and ends up leaving in the middle of a contract, who does that help?
Right.
That's my only thing. Because there are guys, myself included. So yeah, I'm a little jaded about it. I wanted a full-time show. There's other guys there that wanted full-time shows that have been there long enough to deserve full-time shows. So you're going to get a third opportunity to do it. Don't blow it. That's all I'm saying to Mac.
But I mean, you were there,
don't up and leave.
You were there long enough to know that whether tenure and deserving doesn't mean shit.
No, it doesn't, and it's not an industry of loyalty.
So there's none of this came as a surprise. to me.
Not at all. No, I'm not surprised. Yeah. And again, don't read me wrong. I'm happy for Mac, and what I just said now about him, don't up and leave, don't flip out and leave again because you're bored or whatever it might be because it's not football season. After football season ends. Because you're going into the spring, into the summer right now, and it's long and boring, and you want to go out fishing. I get it, and I would say this stuff to his face too. We're close enough that I would do that. But the thing is, man, don't blow it,
right?
Because there are guys that have wanted opportunities that never got them, myself included. So yeah, I'm a little bitter about it. Don't blow it. I think it's going to be good. I think he and Parkins will be good together. I hope Connor and Dan work out.
I really do like Connor.
I've always loved Connor, and we used to hang out all the time in the city. He's a great
guy. That whole situation was so cool with. It was kind of like the reality contest-ish thing that brought him in.
That's what it was.
No, but he's a talented.
No,
dude.
he's got good talent. My only concern is him working with Dan because Dan, I think for a long time has mailed it in from the fact that he is extremely talented. He's the most talented radio guy I've ever seen in this market. He's fantastic at what he does. A lot of the times that we've butted heads and I may not have liked working with Dan, some of that had to do with jealousy, the fact that he was extremely talented. He could walk into a studio with very little preparation and do a very good show.
Right.
Now, on the days when that's slower and there isn't breaking news, there's not a lot happening. Yeah. And when there's not a lot happening, that can really put a strain not only on the show itself, but on your partner as well. I don't want that to have any negative effect, negative effect on Connor.
Agreed.
I want that guy to have every opportunity to succeed with a full-time show. All that being said, that's my whole take on it. I hope nothing but the best because there are still dear friends that are working behind the scenes on those shows that I want to succeed. Guys like Jay and Rick and of course Tanny and Shep. I want those guys to do well and I want their shows to do well too. I again on the other side of it, I feel bad for Spiegel. I feel terrible for Jason. I think Jason, kind of got a raw deal in the whole situation. He's a talented dude and deserves the full-time show that he got. And I know he'll bounce back and he'll get picked up somewhere or whatever he wants to do. So that's all that. It was really, really pretty shocking though that lineup changes came. They came that quickly. So that's all that, and I hope it goes well.
I've got a lot of texts today. Obviously, people like family and friends. People aren't texting me like, "Hey, do you have any inside information?" No, but when I saw. When the whole intercom thing went through, and when I saw Jimmy DeCastro was hired, when I texted you yesterday and I said, "Hey, new new owner, new owners, new boss. Like, this isn't
Right.
surprising, and I don't think this is it. Like, I think this is let's give these people a shot. But Jimmy doesn't mess around, man. I don't
tell you what. I heard this from someone that I trust. And only one person, and I'm not going to dig deeper into it. If it's accurate, it's accurate. If it's not, it doesn't matter because this is just me talking. But I was told that DeCastro wanted to make more changes.
Oh, I'm
with the current lineup that he wanted to
positive that was the case.
That he wanted to move. I was told he wanted to move a guy from the morning show, and he wanted to move Bernstein into different roles. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's accurate. Wouldn't surprise me if that was accurate. And I was told that he was kind of talked out of that situation of making two more moves with the current
now.
lineup. Yeah, for now. So we'll see what happens with
the
it.
bosses. The bosses rise, and they'll be able to do what they need to do later.
Yeah, but
if they have evidence for it.
I hope the whole thing does well. I've been listening to Mully and Hanley since I've been doing my new job, driving back and forth from the western suburbs. Yeah, it's an easy listen in the morning. It makes the drive go really well. I've always liked Brian. Had a chance to work with Brian. I worked.
That's the only one I can get through.
I worked with Mike
honestly
for a week when Brian was out. I had a great time. I always enjoyed a great relationship with Mully, so I hope they do well or continue to do well. I hope the rest of the lineup does well. Its station's at a great point with the Bulls now added to their lineup.
Right.
Of course, the Cubs as well. So it's at a good thing. So it comes at the disappointment for friends as well as the happiness for other friends on certain aspects.
Well, that's the worst part about when this stuff goes down.
It's also the worst part when you recycle the same people because people get fired, people get rehired.
But that's not surprising. I mean, I can't say I've been in any other market ever, but I mean, going to broadcasting school, working in it, being on the outside, seeing it through your eyes, coming back into it, working in it for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
But older. Coming in older,
right.
It's kind of like, hey man, I'm just doing this to say it's not like I never tried, but I got to see it through a different lens.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fucked up, man. It really is. It's like a giant recycling circle
at certain
of
aspects,
talent
sure
shifting from station to station or leaving and coming back and stuff. But you know what? I mean, there's nothing you could do about it. That's how Chicago radio works.
Right.
That's how it's probably going to work for a while. And it sucks for the people who, that we kind of came up with, and people who are longtime producers who do deserve some time. But you know what? There's only so many stations in the Chicagoland area, and unless some other ones open up, I don't see all of those guys getting what they deserve at once, or maybe ever in this market. It sucks, and no one celebrates when someone gets fired. That's even worse because you get excited about the change and the shifts, but then you see who's caught in the crossfire, and that's the people who lose gigs, and that sucks.
Right,
man.
So one of the casualties, though, is a good friend of mine and Jason, and that's what happens for it. I hope everything goes well for everyone there. Hope they continue to do well. It's a place I'll always listen to and have good friendships with. But that's that, and that's how it goes. That's the radio business. Now, I walked away because I got tired of just waiting for a full-time show. I thought I had earned a spot in this market after 16 years. When the slot opened up in the middays, they hired Pat. And then after Pat left, they brought Jason back. And then after Terry left, they moved Jason and then bring in Parkin. So that was 4 opportunities and 3 shows. And I just said, all right, that's enough. And then I did the updates for a few months and just got tired of doing that.
You got burned out.
Well,
I mean, towards the end,
I got burned out of producing. I was tired of producing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to leave the job, and I didn't want to sit and do updates every half hour. That was boring as hell. So that's up why I left. So, but good luck to everyone there, and hope it all works out. And just wish nothing but the best for Jason, and I know he'll land on his feet and do very well for his career. So, that is that. Moving on to the rest of the week, what's going on with you?
Well, if they're all that stuff, let's see. Healing, slowly healing. It doesn't hurt as much from the surgery. If you didn't listen to the last episode, I had hernia surgery through my belly button, so that's just fun. It's good times for everybody. So there's that, and then we adopted a puppy last week, Payton. So let's see. Today's Wednesday, so we've had him for a week.
Almost a week, right?
Yeah. I think a week. Yeah, because I had surgery on Tuesday and we got him on Wednesday. Lots of adventures with him. He's funny. He's, we're going to be posting photos and annoying the shit out of people because, this is like our baby. We take him. Trish is taking him to Wiggly Field in Lakeview. I went there today with him and watched him. He ran with the big dogs. It was pretty entertaining. He got trampled a couple of times. He got peed on by a Great Dane, and he was vomited on by a giant husky. So on the way home, we stopped and got dog shampoo, and Payton took his first shower today.
You go. Nice.
But he's good so far.
Good.
Everything's good with the dog.
Yeah, no, he looks good. He's a cute little pup. So today, as you mentioned too, is Wednesday for us. It's Wednesday, March 14th, as we get into our This Day in History later on in the show. But a national student walkout today, of course, because it's 1 month after the shooting down in Parkland, Florida, at Marjorie Douglas Stoneman High School. And a lot of controversy because of it. Really, really bizarre that people would have to find an angle to be negative about this. Adults asking, well, what good is it going to do? This is stupid. Just stay in class. It's not going to do any good. The fact that people have to search out something to be negative on, that students across this country, as young as, second and third grade, all the way through high school, decided to walk out. Some did, some did not. Some stayed in their classrooms. Other high schools and other schools did more elaborate type protests for 17 minutes.
Colleges.
But the fact that any adult could find any reason to be negative about this today is completely ridiculous. I saw this whole campaign, don't walk out, walk up. Walk up to that lonely kid who doesn't have any friends. You know what? How about both? How about you encourage your kids?
Above.
Right. Encourage your kids, if they wanted to walk out, to stand up, walk out of their class today in protest of gun violence in schools, and then encourage your kids to walk up to that kid who doesn't have a friend, to invite someone sitting by themselves at lunch to sit at their table. How about you encourage them to do both? Why is it one or the other? Why do adults have to be so negative about this whole issue with these kids making protest over gun violence in schools? It makes zero sense to me.
Well,
zero sense.
What's the question? What good does it do? Well, my answer is, what good has ever been done by doing nothing? What is ever accomplished by doing nothing?
And we were talking about this last night at youth group, and I asked the kids, because some of the kids were saying, well, what good is it going to do? I get that from high school and junior high kids asking, but adults, I don't.
Well, I think it's the same thing as voting.
What good throughout history has peaceful protest done to move issues in this country?
A lot.
It keeps the conversation moving. It brings more attention to it. I mean,
it makes it a conversation.
For an adult to ask, what good does it do? You're either really stupid, or you're choosing to be blatantly ignorant because you just don't care about kids being killed in school.
I think stupidity and ignorance is merging.
Unbelievable.
In this. Well, it's. I'm not surprised. I'm more impressed.
And this whole time
with what the kids are doing than these Neanderthals.
Trump, as far as I know to this point, and it's 5:00 now, no comments about the Nationals walkout.
Let's see. We've been recording for, I don't know, probably 25 minutes. But before that, all day, nothing. But this guy can tweet at least once a day about how we need a wall to protect our border. So let me ask you this question. Fire more people.
Because I was thinking about this as I was driving out today. People say, it doesn't matter what you do with assault rifles. You ban them. You do all this. If someone wants a gun, they're going to get a gun. Well, I'm going to tell you the same thing about the border for Mexico. If you put a wall up, you tell me that someone who wants to find freedom in our country and start a new life won't find a way to get here.
Ambitious enough to find a way around.
They're going to find a way. You want to use that same argument? They're going to find a way. And I would encourage that. I want that. If you want to use the argument, you can't ban assault rifles, they'll find a way to get them. People who want to come to our country will find a way to come to our country. They have for hundreds of years. It's going to continue. So don't waste $18 billion, whatever the hell it's going to cost to build a wall that, I'm going to get Mexico to pay for it. Hey, guess what? That's not going to happen. Now you're making the argument, it's going to pay for itself in job security and this and that. It's all a bunch of garbage. Worry about things that you can actually change and correct. Fix the relationship between U.S. and Mexico. Talk about drugs. Talk about other issues. Don't worry about people that come here to change their lives.
It's all
so ridiculous.
It's so much misguided focus and misdirection. I was just talking with somebody today. I was talking to my cousin Jeremy, about Kaepernick and just that situation, how just annoying and frustrating and unfair and BS that is. But that's the kind of stuff that they bring up.
Because the focus gets misguided, like you said, misplaced, just like you said.
Complete misdirection. Right. They talk about the most arbitrary shit.
They hate America.
No way
they hate the flag.
Anything.
Okay.
But then you don't mention anything of significance, and you go back to your stupid, the things that you campaigned on that in no way are ever going to happen.
Right.
There's no way he's going to be able to do anything he campaigned on.
Right, because the whole idea, the root of everything he stands for and what he wants to push through is all rooted in racism. This whole America first. Yeah, I love America, but America first is the slogan for the KKK.
He found a niche of people who felt underrepresented. He represented them.
But how much though did that really help him? Because you had no idea what the Russian meddling in the election actually did for his presidency.
No, I know.
We don't know that yet. We don't know that yet.
Right.
And anybody who disagrees, he just fires people. I mean, Rex Tillerson, he comes out and he supports the UK because of this nerve agent attack against the UK by Russians. And what happens? He's gone the next day. Now, I know it's been in the works for weeks, but I mean, is that a coincidence? Come on.
No. And what's interesting too is the fact, I mean, like realistically, unless you have this plan that you've been, working on for a while, which I just cannot see with this administration, they will chuck someone and then just have someone that they hire. They just roll someone up. I mean, this is significant. Your Secretary of State chucked.
Right.
You put someone else in the role who was running the CIA. Now you elevate someone else from the CIA. I mean, these are two of the most significant positions in the world. Secretary of State of the United States and the person who runs the Central Intelligence Agency.
All these,
two of the most important positions on the planet.
All he's doing is getting people that won't disagree with him, that won't have any kind of thoughts, that opposes his. All he wants are yes people and yes men, yes women in those places. Right.
It sums up his businesses.
That's all it is.
Yes men. And what the hell does that produce? Nothing. So, I mean, again, we can dive deep in this, and we may, in future shows, because it's just inevitable and hard to avoid. But
so National Student Walkout Day today. I applaud kids for taking a stand and to do something that is active, something that is proactive, something that is peaceful, to continue this conversation moving forward. So I support it. Any adult that has anything negative to say, you know what? Encourage your kids to walk out and walk up. Do both, not one or the other. Stephen Hawking died at the age of, what was he? He was 76. 76?
I think 76, yeah. Man, for me, that's just super significant because that guy just seemed like he was just going to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the physical limitations put upon that guy who's one of the smartest people ever.
Right.
And, I don't know. I love that guy. I love the fact that he had a sense of humor. He would do like cameos on Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Man, the guy, I don't know. You would not think that man would like be making jokes of any kind, but he just seemed like a well-rounded dude, someone who's a completely, innovative in the science field. Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, like for anyone our age or even people who are half our age, they know he's omnipresent. They knew about Stephen Hawking.
Right. So Stephen Hawking passes away at the age of 76. Significant happening here in our country. Moving on to NFL free agency. I know this is like
what a pivot. All of our pivots are always so good.
This is like your second Christmas of the calendar.
I think I like this more of an actual Christmas.
You probably do. NFL free agency. So you want to give us a synopsis of what the Chicago Bears did? Because I would say as of right now, and it may. None of these moves may not work out. Some may work out. They all may work out. But the Bears at this point are a better team, in my estimate, in my opinion, today than they were yesterday or the day before. I think it moves them closer to becoming a championship caliber team. There's still a lot of work to do, but I think all the decisions that Ryan Pace has made this offseason so far were the correct decisions, and I think he got guys he targeted. So
I think, you and I have been friends for a long time. We've been Bears fans for a long time. And we, when changes happen, when you bring in new coaches, when it seems like it's common sense, all that stuff, you hire a new general manager, you debate the draft picks, the free agency pickups, all that stuff. I think we are, as fans, as a fan base, and people like, Matt and I, Matt did sports radio for 16 years. I've been analyzing this team forever. I mean, I did a free agency primer like on New Year's Day. But it's interesting now I'm kind of hitting on a lot of the things, so which is cool. But it's I don't want to say it's false optimism. It's just hope. You almost are like, yeah, you don't feel good about the decision, but then you talk yourself into feeling good about the decision. Pattern for years. This offseason, honestly, like Ryan Pace, I don't think wanted John Fox. Made sense at the time. Brought him in. We saw what happened. I do think that completely affected personnel decisions because he was a young GM. He deferred to Fox, and we got, basic players on one-year deals who didn't do shit. So I think this offseason, he was calculated. He made a call. I think Matt Nagy is a great hire. Obviously, he brought in a good staff, so we were excited. I think the needle was pointing up before free agency even started.
Oh, for sure.
And then you look at it. I mean, like, you move up in the draft last year to get your guy, Mitch Trubisky. We've got our franchise quarterback. We've talked about that on the show before. What do you need to do? The guy had nothing around Jordan Howard and Tariq, but Tariq was misused. Shaheen, I think that guy has good skill set, misused. He doesn't understand the playbook. Dude, block, run, catch. Give me a break. So they went into free agency this year with like a very, very, you could tell, a very, very calculated plan and pieces that they needed. And they really did sign the best people at that spot. Allen Robinson, coming off an ACL injury, but without question the most talented wide receiver in the free agency group, and the beast. When that guy's healthy, he's a beast. We went after him. We got him. We needed someone who's going to be the H tight end, someone who is the pass-catching tight end to replace Zach Miller. Bummer. I really feel bad for that, but I mean, like, that's a need position. More of a receiver. Trey Burton, number one candidate in free agency. We signed him. You need a slot guy. There are a lot of options in the slot. I think Albert Wilson made the most sense based on playing for the Chiefs and stuff. He ended up signing with Miami. But Taylor Gabriel was my number 2. The guy ran a 4.2, still, like he's in a 4.2, 4.3s. Mm-hmm. That's just stupid fast. But he plays in the slot, but he also plays on the perimeter. He's my number 2 guy. I mean, like, and I think if you look at people's free agency boards, he was the number 2. Albert Wilson signed somewhere else. Bam, they get him. Quarterback, I understand what it is. We're signing Chase Daniel. Pace knows him from the Saints. Nagy knows him from the Chiefs. He knows the offense. That's fine. He's just like a statue, and this is kind of an offense that requires someone to be mobile. But it makes sense.
I know why he's there. He's there to be the coach in the quarterback room, the coach when the coaches aren't there for Mitchell. But God forbid Trubisky goes down. That guy's he is stuck in the mud in that pocket. He will get killed if the offensive line is not blocking.
Not a lot of starts, made a lot of money, but that's something that we can't even.
You just hope for help.
We can't even mock it anymore based on. I tweeted about this from our handle. I think it was yesterday. Like the QB position and the enigma that it is in the NFL, because you've got guys who are studs in college. They come in, and generally people who get drafted high are getting drafted by very, very bad teams.
Right.
And they probably don't have good offensive lines or skill set players around them. And then they get smoked. They get beat up. They lose their confidence, and then they flame out. Or guys which also equally sucks, is injuries. Mm-hmm. And that's terrible. It's bad when it derails careers. But I mean, like the examples probably the last 5 years, like when Bradford was the last person before the CBA changed that got like all that guarantee money. That dude, honestly, to date's made $134 million, and I mean he's missed full seasons.
Right.
So, and we'll get into that in a second. But I mean, okay. So, but for the Bears, like bringing in Chase Daniel makes sense. And that's fine. Bringing in Parkey from the Dolphins, who is actually the most accurate kicker in the NFL last year. But they didn't bring him in to be like a camp leg or, like a Band-Aid. They signed him to a 4-year deal. So we now have like our kicker.
He's getting $9 million guaranteed. Yeah, $15 million overall, $9 million guaranteed.
And he's been previously coached by Chris Tabor, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But, that happening is good. There's other rumors and stuff. Obviously, since we're recording, I'm not refreshing my phone because I won't be able to concentrate if I do. But I'm sure some other things are happening. Defense, we need to start focusing on that now, but we re-signed Prince Amukamara to a 3-year deal. Dude didn't have any picks last year, but people stopped throwing at him.
That was a great.
People stopped throwing at him. I think it's super smart.
That was great re-sign.
We tendered Fuller. I'm hoping that happens. And then you've got those two guys. We tendered Callahan. So, I think the Vikings had some interest in him, but I feel like we'll bring Callahan back. And we're going to draft some guys. We're going to draft some guys, maybe mid-rounds, maybe second round. I'm kind of hoping we don't go with a cornerback in the first round, but that's a different show, the draft stuff. So that's kind of all the Bears' moves, and I think all of them are really smart and make sense. It seems like Pace and Nagy they definitely have a blueprint, but we say this every year, but they have a blueprint, and legal tampering period starts, and the next day they bring in the number 1 wide receiver, the number 2 wide receiver, the number 1 tight end, and the number 1 kicker, and re-sign Amukamara and Acho and tender guys who I think we're going to get back in Cameron Meredith, Kyle Fuller, and Bryce Callahan. So I'm giving them an A, honestly. It's smart. You don't look at it and go, what the shit was that signing? And it's not overreaching, and it's not doing things. And Pace is signing these guys to legit contracts. And I think people are getting chucked, too. Lennon, obviously, gone.
Sure.
I think Marcus Cooper should be gone. I think Marcus Wheaton should be gone.
Yeah.
The Deion Sims thing, he doesn't really hurt our cap, but, you bring in Trey Burton, but they're all different.
It's a roster spot,
but
though.
they're all different positions, though. So Deion Simmons, a blocking guy, Sims. So I don't know if they cut him. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but keeping him around, I hope
they cut him because I'd rather,
I know, but I don't know if that's the one where I'm like, if he stays, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And all right, so that's Bears. So we're feeling good. Now I need to see some defense. I need to see what they're doing on the defensive side, because you can't fill all those holes in the draft with 7 picks. It's just not possible. Plus, you're not drafting 7 defensive players, because if you do, that's bad. Because we still need offensive line help, all kinds of stuff, lots of holes. But free agency, man, there's been some crazy, crazy stuff. A lot of trades. We don't need to get in all of them, but there's one thing that I texted Matt about earlier, and I just think this is amazing. So, Tyrann Mathieu, complete stud. Mm-hmm. Complete stud. The guy has played all the cornerback positions, both safety positions, and linebacker.
Right.
And he had some injury issues, but he started all 16 games last year. Total stud. So the Arizona Cardinals have a new head coach in Steve Wilks. Different defense. It's not a 3-4. He doesn't think Matthew's a fit. Personally, it's not that. It's the contract. Here's what's interesting. The guy gets cut to make room for, and these 2 things amaze me. Actually, one not so much. Bradford. Sam Bradford gets brought in on a $20 million contract. Mm-hmm. This guy, the amount of money he's made to be their starter. Glennon gets cut from the Bears. They bring him in to be the backup. You bring in Sam Bradford and Mike Glennon, and you cut your best player other than Larry Fitzgerald on the whole roster.
Right.
Just free agency is just a complete... there are some things that are calculated and make sense, and there are some things where you're like, wow.
Yeah, so I don't know where he'll end up, but, man, you could find some room in the Bears' backfield for that guy.
Dude, the problem is, I think we've got money earmarked in certain ways, and they can be creative, and if they cut Cooper, Sims, and Wheaton, that opens up a significant amount of cap room.
Yeah.
But we've got some, I'm trying to figure out actually, and we can obviously see, we can see this in the break, what the contracts actually are and what we have left in cap space. But that's the kind of guy that you just make it happen.
Right. You rearrange things that you had planned to make that guy happen.
Make it happen.
Especially after what you did in the first day, and you see who becomes available. A guy like that is available, then you rearrange and you start working through what you can do.
And they were in on a couple of the cornerbacks who have since signed elsewhere because they were, you look at, I don't know if I've been paying attention to the contracts, and it's kind of crazy. But it is defense, cornerbacks, offensive line and wide receivers kind of get the big money, and then like some running backs people overpay, but it's been steadily declining, which is kind of a bummer because man, a running game like sets the pace of your entire offense.
Right.
But yeah, that's the kind of guy you bring in. But I mean, imagine that you've got Eddie Jackson, Tyrann Mathieu, Kyle Fuller, and Amukamura, and Bryce Callahan, and probably like a high draft pick.
Right.
Like a complete and utter shitbag weakness to an absolute strength.
Yeah, and I don't. Again, if the best guy on the board at 8 is a guy in the defensive backfield, and draft that guy as a guy that starts the next day for you. I don't care what position it is, but I also know that if you strengthen the front 7, it makes the back 4 look
big
much
dogs.
different. Yeah,
the big dogs.
That's the difference there.
We'll get into draft stuff later on, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if we were drafting tomorrow, because I haven't seen anything. Nothing's changing on the offensive line. We lost Josh Sitton, or cut him, excuse me.
Yeah.
And Kyle, one of my favorite players in the NFL, regardless if he's on the Bears or not, man, coming off of multiple surgeries. Cody Whitehair, personally, I think he's better at guard because he has a big problem like with shotgun snaps, man. We've had so many missed snaps, no matter who's quarterbacking. So I would like to see him at guard. Not a lot of good centers in free agency. One of them, I don't even know if he's on Ryan Jensen, not on our visit list. So if I had my pick, I would take Quentin Nelson from Notre Dame. Like, it wouldn't even be a thought. I wouldn't even think of another player because that guy comes in and he's a mauler.
Right.
Absolute mauler. He changes the dynamic of the entire offensive line.
Yeah, I have no problem at 8 if they take someone on the offensive line. If it's the best guy that's available at that moment. I don't care his position. As long as he starts tomorrow, take that guy. I don't care if he's a tackle, if he's a guard, if he's a center. I don't care. I just don't want any more projects in the top 10.
I know. And unless Bradley Chubb falls, because for me, I get the cornerback thing, but I think we're kind of sorting it out, and it's a deep draft for cornerbacks. Pass rushers, if you really, really look at it, there aren't a lot of them that should be at 8.
Right.
Pick number 8. There are some people who I think will make a difference, but I don't think they're going to be a day 1 starter and a day 1 difference maker.
And that's what we need.
And
that's what you have to draft.
Unless for our biggest needs, our offensive line and edge pass rush.
Right.
Those are the 2 number 1s. And Quentin Nelson, God, he's in conversation for being in the top 5. For me, he's in the top 3.
Right. And again, if he's
there, better than any of the quarterbacks.
If he's there at 8, draft him.
Yep.
I don't care. You don't draft the offensive line that high. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you
if
do.
He starts tomorrow and he gives you a 10-year career. You start that guy and you draft him.
You see Olin Kreutz? Do you follow? Well, we follow him. I don't know if you follow him on.
I do. I don't think so. Maybe I do.
Someone asked him a question about. Well, actually, Bears players have been kind of communicating back and forth with each other. I like it. Like Tim Jennings and some of the guys. Just 2 ex-players who follow the team, and someone said, Quentin Nelson, what are your thoughts? He said, changes the locker room, everything you want in a player, 10-year starter. I'm like, yep.
Then you draft him tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Who are you going to listen to about offensive line?
Right. Better than Olin Kreutz.
Absolutely.
All right, outside of NFL free agency and Bears moves, what have you watched this week?
All right, so have you watched them? I can't remember if you've watched any of the episodes of Letterman's.
I have not yet, no.
Okay.
I will. I'm finishing up the... Seinfeld stuff still, the coffee thing that makes me want coffee at midnight because I'm watching.
Yeah. It's like, I know. My dumb ass, I'll go watch food shows and I'll be in my room like,
oh, no, yeah, that always happens. You watch Food Network or Cooking Channel, then you get hungry, whatever it might be, but I'm watching Seinfeld, laughing your ass off, and I'm just dying for a cup of coffee. One of these nights, I'm going to get up and just make a cup of coffee at 11 o'clock at night.
But bring your laptop with you. And
it looks so good.
It's great. But my next guest, Letterman's show on Netflix, his first guest was Barack Obama, which is great. Second guest was George Clooney.
Yep.
His guest this week is Malala Yousafzai, who is a Nobel Prize winner, and oh my God, her story is insane. She's been on Bill Maher a couple of times, like just the amount of oppression and stuff that this lady has gone through is unbelievable.
Well, at the age of 13, she was shot in the head by the Taliban, and so she's gone on a crusade for women's rights.
But now student rights. That's what she got the Nobel Prize for, was fighting for child educational oppression. So, man, I don't know. It's outstanding. If you love Letterman, which I don't know many people who don't. But he takes this. It's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
He's not like, he's Letterman, so he'll make a joke, but that's not what it is. And he said in the first monologue of his first episode, like, so if you think that you're tuning in and you're going to be laughing all the time, he's like, that's not what this show is. And this episode was very, very serious. I mean, he's jovial with her. Bill Maher has been too. It's amazing that this poor woman has a sense of humor about any of this stuff. She's tough, man, and it was a fun episode to watch.
Okay.
I did watch Only the Brave that you recommended. I got it through questionable means. I watched that. I thought that was outstanding.
Great movie,
as you said. Mm-hmm. And I did say something to you, and I actually really do believe this. I think that Miles Teller will win an Oscar someday. And that guy used to make like jokey comedy movies,
right?
And
I think he's a really good actor. I think he was fantastic in this movie.
Oh, man.
It was a fantastic movie. If you've not seen it, check it out. Only the Brave. And what is Stronger?
Why am I not? So Stronger is I watched Patriots Day is on it's on Showtime.
Yeah.
And I watched it again. It's not.
I've watched it twice.
Yeah, I watched it again because it's on there. But I mean, and the whole, given our global climate, I'm not even going to say our national climate, our global climate. Whenever you watch things like that, where I need to be reminded sometimes, like, I get in my head and I'm doing something else. So, I like to sometimes focus on things that are bad that good things come out of.
I liked it for the fact that, I mean, it made me angry both times watching again, made me upset watching both times I watched it. My only thing is I just thought it could have been done better. It seemed like it was lacking a little bit as far as
honestly
the quality of it.
I like that they mixed in real footage. I know what you're saying, and I kind of was thinking it too. But I mean, like, unless it's a documentary, if you don't bring in a big lead and it's like a weird movie, and I feel like a documentary does it justice. It's a movie, so they need. Actors need to act. They do their thing. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that led me to watch Stronger, which is the movie about a survivor who was next to bomber number one when it happened, and then Jake Gyllenhaal is in it, or Gyllenhaal. I think it's Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
He's in it, and he plays a guy who lost both legs.
Okay.
Jack Bowman, something. I'm sorry. I'll correct it.
Jack Black?
No. I mean the actual guy. Jack,
okay. Gotcha.
Jack Bowman.
So was it good?
It was very good.
Okay.
I mean, it's.
Check it out.
It's
How
kind
did you? Was it questionable means, or was it on Netflix, or is it on cables?
I got about 6-7 questionable means movies that I've been firing through.
Okay.
And Patriots Day, like I said. So that's everything I watched this week. Actually, I've been refreshing Twitter. Mostly, for NFL news. So and then things are on in the background, like Friends and Seinfeld on TBS on my television. That's about it.
I haven't watched a ton. I did watch Patriots Day again though this past week, but I've mostly been watching the comedians in cars getting coffee. Even when it's someone I don't know very well, I still enjoy the episode.
I just go in order.
Yeah,
you just going in order.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I kind of jump around to start because there's a couple I do like. The start of the night I want to watch this. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
And then I'll let it play out from there.
I did that too, but then I went back through just because I like watching. The show gets better.
Yeah.
His interviewing style gets better.
One of my favorite that I've watched. I watched it last night. Was actually the Tina Fey one.
Oh yeah.
And the point at the end of their interview where they talk about. The watch that he got from Chris Rock, and he was like, I was at the exact same spot when Louis C.K., and they flash back to the Louis C.K. episode, and the watch they got, so it was Louis C.K., Tina Fey, and a few other writers were in a hotel room at Chris Rock's invitation to help him write some stuff. At the end, he gave them $5,000 and engraved Rolex watches. On the back of them, they say, "What is like? Thanks a lot, MFer."
Yeah,
I just think it's great. But hearing them both tell Tina Fey and Louis C.K. tell Jerry the story. It was fantastic. And Louis C.K. was like, I love the idea that he had to go to a Rolex store and get that engraved on there with MF on it. I just thought it was fantastic.
Faye's such a badass. I love
so
her.
funny. Oh, yeah, she's great.
Her book is right behind us. You should borrow some of these, man. Those books are so funny. So funny.
Yeah, but so I've been watching nothing but that. So I am like way behind on. I haven't started Homeland yet.
I dropped off on
other series that I was watching that I jumped out of because I'm just either I'm busy doing stuff at night and a little bit of time I have to watch. I've just been watching the Seinfeld thing, which is so well done.
Yeah,
and I think after Seinfeld, I think I will do the Letterman thing. That'll be my next thing to jump into, and then I think Homeland probably. Yeah. I'll get back into
and
it.
Make sure to check out the Joel McHale stuff because they're really short episodes.
Oh yeah.
They're really funny.
I do want to see that. All right, so it's time for moderately paced fire questions where we ask questions of each other and we take a long time doing it. Here's the first one for you. All right, so one wild animal that could be a pet. Whether maybe it's a dangerous animal that would kill you normally, but let's say that it's a trained animal and you could have any wild animal as a pet. What would it be and why?
I don't know. I like wolves.
I was going to say that I would guess with your affinity for dogs, you would pick a wolf. For me, it would be a big cat. I would get some kind of big cat,
maybe like a cougar,
like a cougar or a leopard.
Actually, what I'm
tiger,
hoping
a lion
for is maybe like a 50-year-old lady.
Right, you could just walk on a chain.
A 50-year-old lady with an affinity for people in their 20s.
I probably like how cool it'd be to have like a pet lion that you walk on a leash. You're just walking down.
Well, that just seems like
walking down Bryn Mawr and you got a lion.
Like
roar. What's up, lady?
The Chris Rock bit about people saying like, "Oh my God, they're so surprised that the tiger."
Oh, that the tiger. Well, the tiger acted like a tiger.
No, remember?
Right.
Yeah, his bit.
It's great, fantastic.
The tiger didn't go. The tiger didn't go crazy. The tiger went tiger.
Right. All right. So I figured you would guess like a wolf or something.
Yeah, but because they're, dude, you don't fuck around. They're intense.
Yeah.
Like, so that's one of those things where even with dogs, you could tell like, hey man, at one point that dog might bite my ass.
Right.
A wolf might just end everything that's going on.
And especially if it's like one of the giant wolves from Game of Thrones, that'd be cool.
I've never seen it.
They're huge, like the size of horses.
But like the Twilight movies,
need like a
giant.
Oh
wolves. Yeah. All right, yeah. So my first one is what kind of sickness have you used to get out of work?
Oh man, diarrhea. I'm pooping too much. Can't come in today. Too much pooping. Too much toilet time.
Yeah, I've never gone into specifics, but when I'm sick, I feel like shit. Otherwise I'll go. But yeah, stomach stuff.
Stomach stuff. Yeah, 'cause no one's going to question that really. I don't want you here if you're crapping all over the place.
Right. And be like,
I'm literally crapping all over my apartment.
Would you
don't
like
want
me to sit at my desk because my desk will be the toilet.
All right. What is something many people take seriously and shouldn't? Something that people take seriously and should not.
Reality TV.
Social media.
Yeah.
My 1 and 2 answers right there.
Yeah.
Social media, 1. Reality TV, number 2.
Yeah. Social.
I mean, it's not like someone from reality TV is going to be president one day.
Right. Yeah.
That would never happen.
Socials is so ingrained in our day to day.
Yeah.
Obviously, I completely agree with you on that, but it's just like, I don't even know. People that's their
insane
lifeline.
That's life. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's like an addiction now that people go to like the therapy for. It's for social media. It's insane. That's 1, 2, social media and reality
TV. What is the best prank call you have ever made?
Oh God, this is an easy one. I actually I was on the air one night, my Saturday night show, and I called my mom at like 11:30 at night. She was in Arizona, so it would have been 9:30. I told her that I was down in Mexico for a bachelor party. This is on the air, and that we were arrested, and I needed to drive down to Mexico from Arizona to come bail me out of jail. And she was like, well, I mean, I have to work in the morning. How am I going to tell my boss I have to drive down to Mexico to get? I'll see if I can find the audio for it because it would be great. It's really, really good.
Oh, man.
So I'm on the air with her. She has no idea that A, I'm on the air, B, that I'm joking with her. And she's like, Matthew, what did you do? And I'm like, Mom, you can't be concerned about that right now. I'm like, I'm in a jail in Mexico. I need you to come get me. I have no other options. Yeah. So she's like panicking, but running through her brain how she's going to make this work. So then after about a minute or two, I told her that I was just kidding. So I wanted to call and check with her that she was on the air. So
That's a good one.
yeah.
Mine, I was a freshman in high school, and I don't know. So it was weird, but so to start high school, I signed up. My mom and dad wanted me to like have some credits going in. So the summer of 8th grade, going in high school, I took typing 100 or whatever, typing 1, whatever it was in high school, and radio 1. And so I actually had a show 4 years in high school and ran the station from like second semester freshman year through when I graduated. And I had access at all times. So Buddy Man and I went in and, through the board because it sounded better. We're calling people and we're like saying that we were at, normal Chicago radio stations and doing like contests. And saying they were, it was evil as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So evil. But people like, you win. Oh, man, what did I win? Nothing. And then hang up. Like, yeah, so those were the most.
That was
those
summer
were the
between 8th grade and freshman year?
No, well, as a freshman.
Oh, okay.
Right. So my voice was about 19 octaves higher than it is right now. And this is an illusion. I actually do sound like a 12-year-old girl in person. So, that was the best, and I'd say the most elaborate. Otherwise, I don't really think I pranked anyone. Like,
that's the only thing I could actually think I did.
Yeah.
So, luckily, I had one. Is there a movie everyone has seen, but you have not?
Seems to be every year the Oscars. People are like obsessed with like all these movies, and I've seen maybe one out of like 7 movies that are constantly discussed.
All right, is there like a classic one though that comes up? Because I was thinking back when I wrote the question down.
Classic one that I like.
I was thinking back to like my on-air days at the Score. Spiegel had never seen Predator, and it got to a point where he was never going to see Predator because like everyone has seen Predator. For me, it's Miracle on 34th Street. Never seen it.
The original or any of them?
Any of them. Everyone has seen it. I refuse at this point now to see it because I'm just not going to.
So I've never watched It's a Wonderful Life in its entirety because I couldn't get past like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, okay, that was my one I was going to say, but I actually watched a portion of it this past Christmas with my mom. She was watching it, and I watched maybe a half hour of it, and it was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen. It was a terrible movie. George Bailey's an awful guy, deserves to be in jail. So it was a terrible movie. Yeah. So, but I've seen a half hour of that now. But previous to that, I'd never seen a second of it and was never going to.
There are a lot of classic movies that I've seen. It's hard to like go back. I don't know, because I feel like I don't hear a lot of people talking about new movies be like, you haven't seen it? And it'll be like Titanic or like something, which I've seen. But yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, so It's Wonderful Life's a good one because I think everyone has seen that. People are mad about the fact that I haven't seen it. So
never watched it in entirety because if a movie doesn't get me like within the first 10, 15, I'm out.
Yeah.
Other than Attack of the Killer Donuts, that one I just pushed. All right, so that's me. Would you eat a bowl of crickets for $40,000?
Live crickets?
Yeah.
Yeah, for $40,000, sure.
I'd do that. Like if you brought a bowl of crickets in and a check, I'd do it right now.
Yeah, I would have no problem doing that.
Disgusting, but I would do it right now.
I might do it for $10,000.
Oh, dude, seriously, $1,000. Eat these crickets. Fine. Can I put hot sauce on them? Something.
Yeah.
No, fine.
Now I've had crickets before cooked.
I had a chocolate one.
Yeah, and it was fine. They had some
oddly crunchy,
Chinese or a Thai place, but yeah, they were good. I'd eat them. Yeah, live ones. If you're giving me $40,000, sure.
Shit,
$40,000 cash. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. What's something most people find easy to do but you don't? Is there something that most people find easy to do but you don't?
Oh my God, it's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Easy to do. Oh Jesus, man, this is really hard. I'm just trying to think because I do whatever. Someone says you want to do this, yeah, fine. Shit, I don't know.
Did I stump you on one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't.
This is really hard.
I thought that was a good question. Thought maybe you might
It
have
is.
something.
Do you have something?
Nope. I thought about it too all afternoon.
Yeah, you ass.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, he's thought about it all afternoon.
Yep.
I'm just on
Still
the
got
spot.
nothing. On the spot, fire it away.
Yeah, well, here.
All right,
let's do the other
get back
one.
to
and
it
I'll think
maybe
if
in some other podcast.
Oh, my God. I got to think about that one. What do you use more often, the dictionary or the thesaurus?
Dictionary.
The thesaurus for me.
Yeah. I use dictionary a lot.
I use it just because I write a lot and, like, I
use the thesaurus,
need
but
other versions of words.
dictionary, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last one for you. Which news story gets too much coverage in your opinion? Is there a news story that gets too much coverage in your opinion?
You mean like a theme or one
A
specific?
theme. Think a theme.
Oh,
For
honestly,
me, yeah.
just I know people are interested in it, and it's a nice escape, but just celebrity shit, like
celebrities and their
relationship
personal
stuff
lives.
And their
Yep.
like, hey, they went to Starbucks.
Nope,
Like, come
100%.
on.
100% agree.
Who
Celebrities
cares?
and their personal life. Anything they do with their work is different. Celebrities and their personal life,
I don't
way
care.
way too much coverage.
Yeah.
Yep. Way too much.
Now we'll go super simple. Favorite breakfast food?
Oh God, my favorite breakfast food. It's man, that's a good steak and eggs, like a skirt steak with runny eggs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I eat the hell out of some cereal, but that's not, I just like it. It's easy. But yeah, eggs.
Yeah, my most common breakfast food are cheesy eggs, scrambled eggs. But you give
I've had Matt's cheesy scrambled eggs. They're very good.
Give me a good skirt steak with eggs that are well done, that are properly cooked, I should say. Nice and runny.
Runny.
Let those go and get it all together. Yeah, that's
a little bit of sourdough toast.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite breakfast.
I mean, like eggs.
Yeah.
Honestly, eggs. Any variation of eggs for the most part. I don't care what's around them. I just really like eggs.
You know who does a really good steak and eggs on their brunch menu? And believe it or not, is Mickey Finn's.
Oh man, Denny's. Denny's steak and eggs is good.
They do a really good one. I wish the portion was a little larger, but it's a great price and it's on their brunch menu.
Well, yeah.
But
unfortunately, unless you have a buffet brunch things, are like, and you get like 3/4 of
really
a
small.
plate of
But
food.
it's really really good. And I know the size isn't what I want it to be. Maybe it's a perfect size, and I just want to eat more. But it's priced well for what you get. But they do a really good job for like a place. It's like bar food, and it's a
there are
Irish pub.
So many things I need to go to Mickey Finn's for. I know that they're our sponsor. It's just a little tough for us to escape to
Wisconsin,
historic Libertyville.
Right? No, their steak and eggs is delicious.
I will order that next time I'm there.
All right, you want to check out that brunch menu? You can just go to their website, MickeyFinsBrewery.com. They're going to have out, when you hear this particular episode number 28, Meatball Juice, Mickey Finn's will have their St. Patrick's Day beers out. They have a red and a stout. They're both delicious. Check them out at MickeyFinsBrewery.com. They're presenting sponsor for the AFDE show. It's Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything. That's the end of of segment 1. And again, this is episode number 28, Meatball Juice. We'll take a brief time out, come back, and we'll kick things off with That's So Wisconsin on the AFDE show.
Arnold Palmer alert! Arnold Palmer alert! Who wants some Arnie Palmies? Sweetie, this one is the vodka right here.
Hal, just place it down, please.
Alrighty.
Welcome back into episode 28. It's Meatball Juice. It's a Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything. We're brought to you by our good friends Mickey Finn's, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. Check them out online at MickeyFinsBrewery.com. Get yourself in there and drink some of their St. Patrick's Day beer, their Irish beer, the red and the stout. They're both delicious. You're going to love them, so get on there and check it out. Again, it's Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything, episode 28, Meatball Juice. You can connect with the show, too, at AFDE Show on Twitter, Facebook.com/AFDE Show, and email us, afdeshow@gmail.com. We start off segment number 2 of every episode with That's So Wisconsin, a little funny story we bring you from the great state of Wisconsin, somehow revolving around the state of Wisconsin, someone from Wisconsin. And of course, this segment is brought to you by Will's Northwoods Inn. They are located at 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area. WillsNorthwoodsInn.com. daily specials, trivia night on Tuesdays, Packer-Palooza coming up in April. So check them out online. You get ticket information as well as the guest list. It should be a long, fun day that we're both going to check out.
I've been getting emails, text messages, and Facebook IMs asking about specifics, and it's always
go to the
funny.
website.
I was like, do you have access to like the World Wide Web?
Yeah, check it out.
But yeah, so I think we're gonna have a little group.
Little group. Yep, that'll be fun.
So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, so our story for That So Wisconsin is
this week is Wisconsin brings the world's largest cheese board to South by Southwest, and the interwebs are slow as normal.
the interwebs.
There we go.
So what if I told you there was a place where the cheese was always replenished, where the crackers were plentiful, where the fruit preserves were sticky and the almonds seasoned? Yeah, you'd be pretty into it for sure. We stumbled upon this non-vegan paradise on Tuesday during South by Southwest on the third floor of the JW Marriott as Wisconsin set up a band party featuring the alleged largest cheese board in the world, more than 70 feet long, and serving up a few dozen of the more than 600 varieties of cheese from Wisconsin. Wow, the Cheese Lounge, which
great name. Oh, Bloody Mary Bar.
also features sodas and a Bloody Mary bar, is open to South by Southwest goers, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. March 13 and 14. So
We got to meet Jeff.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jeff makes a really good Gouda.
Jeff's Select Gouda Cheese.
Oh man, I've been to South by Southwest before, and those, like, if you have a badge, you don't have to pay, so you can roll in there and just eat at a 70-foot cheese table from 9 to 6.
Yeah, South by Southwest with the alleged largest cheese board in the history of the world, over 600 kinds of cheeses. That's outstanding.
Oh man,
I'd love that.
I want some cheese. Hell
Cheese
yeah, dude.
and a Bloody Mary bar.
Yeah,
Good to
think
go.
about
That's a
it,
meal.
dude. You would not poop for a month.
No, at least for a couple hours, probably.
All right.
So that is this episode's edition of That So Wisconsin, brought to you by Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview area. Check them out at willsnorthwoodsinn.com. Now that brings us to the news you should know. These are two stories we bring to you, things you probably haven't seen, but something you certainly need to know in the news. And our first story, Jason?
Black Panther fans keep bothering the people of Wakanda, Illinois. For some context, Matt and I have not seen the movie, but I know this just from his presence in Civil War.
Black Panther? Yeah, not me.
No, but not the actual Civil War. I guess I mean
Avengers.
Avengers Civil War.
And he was actually in the last one they did. He was in the Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier, where they're going. Yeah, that's where Black Panther made his first appearance.
Oh, it's Civil War, the one that's on Netflix. Is where they go to the peace accords, and his dad's killed because of the bombing, and then he chases after the Winter.
That's where they're going after the Winter Soldier guy.
He thinks the Winter Soldier did it, but so it's
that's right.
Anyway,
but not the American Civil War.
Yeah, the movie, the location of where Black Panther and his family are from in the movie is Wakanda, which is, I believe, Wakunda.
Definitely a K in it.
But yeah, so Matt will get into the article a little bit, but apparently some people have been calling the fine people in government in Wakanda.
Yeah, Wakanda actually not too far from me. Great little place with some nice little bars. It's a lot of like lakefront bars right there in Wakanda. Some really, really good ones. So this is pretty funny.
Your father's root beer is made there. Delicious.
Residents of a small American village have been left baffled and bemused by prank calls from people claiming to have discovered the home of the superhero Black Panther.
Baffled and amused.
Also known as the Marvel heroes, king of a fictional African country, Wakanda, outwardly ordinary but secretly home to El Dorado-esque kingdom hidden from the outside world. And so Wakanda, pronounced Wakanda, Illinois, certainly fits the outwardly ordinary parts. It is not Wakanda, where Black Panther is from. So, but people are calling. So at first it was like
there's something about the mayor in there.
Yeah, at first it was like there was a full moon out. Alice Homola, a musician, an assistant to the village mayor, told the Hollywood
Or a
Reporter.
musician.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. You read it then, cocksucker.
You've got the monitor. I can't even see.
There you go. There you go. The print is really bad on this copy. What website is this?
I can't.
Oh, the Telegraph. The UK.
The UK.
The bastards. So she's being interviewed by the Hollywood Reporter, the assistant to the village mayor of Wakanda. Not Wakunda. Someone called and asked how we pronounce the village name, and when I told him, he began yelling "Wakanda forever," which I'm guessing is from the film. Speaking to the Chicago Sun-Times, she said she was a little confused the first time, phoned up to holler the Wakanda battle cry. He was joking around about it, she said. He just said it. It was searching Wakanda for the movie, and your village came up, so I thought I'd call you and give you a hard time. So at least people are doing it in trying to spread some cheer and good nature. But so how do you pronounce your town name? It's Wakanda forever. So that's good.
The battle cry.
Right. I like how you call the village of Wakanda, and the
it's the
assistant,
mayor's office.
The assistant to the mayor answers the phone for you. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Wakanda.
The Wakanda government is a little bit more accessible.
Yeah, it's like calling the White
They
House.
just answer the phone that way. Wakanda.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ring, ring. Yeah, Wakanda. Sorry? Who is this? That's the mayor.
All right. So, news you should know.
Oh, this is good. I like this
article
headline.
number 2. She's 100 years old and credits her long life to beer and potato chips. I want her to be on our show.
This is great. Beer and chips. So no pain, no gain. That doesn't seem to be entirely the case for... Wow, man, I can't believe it. That's crazy. So her name is Matilda...
Curcia?
Yeah, Curcia of San Diego, California, credits her longevity in part to imbibing a beer and 3 potato chips every evening. 3?
No, I just like what she says.
Oh, well, maybe more than 3 chips. She told local TV station with a grin, I've experienced good health. I do exercise every day, and I have my beer and eat my potato chips. That's about all. According to the station, Matilda and a neighbor who preferred to just use her first name, Mickey, turned 100 years within days of each other and recently celebrated with a party with their families. Blue, gold, and hot pink balloons shaped as 100 were among the decorations. The women who lived 4 doors down from each other said they moved into the neighborhood around the same time 50 years ago. They said they'd like to take walks, ride their bikes. Mickey, a nurse, served in World War II in Australia.
Yeah, that's cool.
New Guinea and the Philippines, KNSD reported. I've been a general duty nurse for a long time, and then World War II started, and I signed up right away to go overseas, and I went to different parts where they were really fighting. So she credits being over 100 to her beer, and I'd love to know which beer she had. I wish they would have said which beer
I know.
it was.
I bet there. If we Google this further, there might be some more specifics. I don't know.
So
if
beer and chips, man.
but
I could down a bag of chips every night.
yeah.
I love potato
All right,
chips.
so there's a fun sidebar, but honestly, like I love chips of all kind.
Yeah.
Honestly, but for me, if they're at a party, and I definitely buy them for if I bring lunches to work, the Lay's original
the
chips,
classic. Yep.
Those are my absolute favorite.
So I could do a bag of a family-sized bag of Lay's in one sitting.
Yeah.
Or I get French onion dip, that hell of a good dip, the brand.
Oh, I don't know the brand, but yeah.
And I buy the Ruffles, lower sodium, to dip in that
less salt.
You need Ruffles for the dip.
Yep.
Lay's classic for regular potato chips, and just a plain no flavor regular chips could kill the whole bag.
Yep.
Kill the whole bag.
Or I'd buy the ranch, the veggie dip, but then you can get the packets.
Yeah.
I would make that and just just eat Lay's, and you know how Lay's aren't good for dipping, so it's basically, and I don't care. It would be hand dip.
Oh no, it's your fingertip.
Yeah.
It's
so
fingertip
it got
dip.
to the point where I have bitten my fingers multiple times.
Because you just can't
multiple
wait to
times.
get the potato
No, because
dip
I'm
in your
going
mouth.
in, and you don't know how much of your fingers in the dip.
Yeah, that's why you have to have the Ruffles,
Dude,
a sturdier chip.
What do you
because
call the area around your nails? The cuticle?
Cuticle,
Is that what
yeah,
it is?
yeah.
Dude, I've bitten the shit out of my cuticle, eating ranch dip on Lay's.
Because you can't use Lay's for dip. It just does, so you're basically 3 fingers and you're getting those dipped in there.
You're scooping it.
And
You got more dip than chip, but I don't care. It's delicious.
You're licking it off your finger, and that's fine. Ruffles makes a really good flavored chip. It's a ranch and jalapeno. It's a really, really, really good one. So I like that. I've done that with the dip too, so that's always good stuff.
They started. Wait, is it them who did like the weird.
All the weird. It's Lay's, right? Is it Lay's or Jay's? Lay's. No, Lay's does all the weird flavors.
Is it?
Like where it's like they have contests, people to vote on the flavors they like.
Yeah.
They did like waffles and fried chicken and.
But
like
they're
taco.
But they're what are Ruffles chips called? They're ruffled. No, but like it wasn't like their regular. I didn't think it was like their regular like light chips. I thought they were the one like the thicker ones,
the
like Ruffles.
Ones? Yeah.
But yeah, they came out with some like gross
shit. Yeah. Now if I've got to pick a flavor chip, I go sour cream onion 1, barbecue 2.
Barbecue. I'm a big fan of sour cream and cheddar.
Ooh, I like that too.
I do like.
Yeah, that's a good one in Ruffles too.
Oh yeah,
the ridges.
Oh yeah,
yeah, sour cream and cheddar.
Yes.
All right, so we get to dumb criminals after the news you should know. Remember, those are 2 stories we bring you every week. You probably didn't see, but you should know those. Our story today takes us out of the country for dumb criminals.
Us personally, we're leaving.
We're leaving right now. Goodbye. This is from the NT News, which is the Northern Territory of Australia. NT News. 5 criminals attempted to get a helping hand after bogging their stolen vehicle, only for the Good Samaritan to dob them in. Again, you can tell this is Australian news. Yes. So these 5 dudes stole a car. It got stuck in the mud. They couldn't get it out of the mud on the side of the road. They started walking down the side of the road looking for rides. A Good Samaritan who stopped to help them apparently dobbed them in, which is called the police. At 1:30 yesterday, 5 juveniles were turned them in, walking down Howard Springs Road in the direction of the city, trying to flag down drivers. Northern Territory Police Duty Superintendent Bob Rennie said the youths managed to flag down a woman, the 2 youths, who was suspicious. She called the police. Turns out they'd stolen their vehicle, which was stuck in the mud. They left the car and had bogged it, and they were trying to get back into Darwin, which is a great city for those guys to be in. Police located the vehicle and the youths, aged between 12 and 16. All were male. The white Toyota Camry had been taken in the early hours of Sunday morning from a residence in Wanguri. The car was found down a dirt track about 2.5 kilometers off Gun Point Road. So these idiots steal a car, decide to hitch a ride. The woman becomes suspicious, calls the police. Turns out the car was stolen, and the 5 young youths were arrested. That is your dumb criminals of the day. There was a really good story, but it wasn't an actual story. It was just a video. It was only like a news report of the criminals. Again, these are the same kind of guys who go to the police station in the stolen car. Another story like that. So.
Did you find? Where'd you find it? If people want to go, do you remember where
this? Oh yeah, this was the NT Times, is what it's called.
It's
NT Times, and it's Northern Territory.
Okay,
news.
Yeah. So I'm guessing the video will be a good supporter of the story. Yeah. So dumb. More dumb.
Dumb Criminals brings us into this week's edition of Dumb Apps. This is where Jason finds you 2 real downloadable apps that'll change your life. And again, email us, afdeshow@gmail.com. Let us know how the apps we inform you of have changed your life for the better.
Or if you find some life-altering
dumb
apps.
That's good too. You've seen some or you're inventing one, let us know. We will not make fun of you.
We're looking for venture capital. Just let us know. We'll tell you how we feel.
This first one I'm pretty excited about. I bet you this works too.
Yeah, I'm sure. The first app is called Panties Detector.
He said panties.
Panties. And it says, have her place her thumb on the scanner, and then the app will determine what color her panties are. Well, that sentence is horrible because I believe it says, have her place her thumb on the scanner, and then the app will determine what color panties she is wearing. No, that's right. That's right.
What color panties she's wearing.
Yeah, so, okay. But yeah, so that's not possible.
Nope.
It's yet again one of those apps where it's clearly like a pickup line opportunity, but you're a sad, pathetic person.
Right. And maybe you would get the right color 1 out of 20 times, 30 times, because of course it's going to be right once in a while. So you keep doing it. Hey, and you know what they say, once you fall down, it's not about falling down, it's about getting back up and trying again. So
yeah, so if you fail on the panty color guess from your app,
try a different girl.
Or just close the phone and be like, I'm going to just guess on my own and
or
still be an idiot.
Walk up to someone and say, hi, my name is Joe.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Yeah.
Instead of put your thumb on my phone so we see what color panties you're wearing.
I get this app called Panties Detector. Yeah. I'm hoping this turns into a dinner date.
Want to do a shot?
Yeah.
And put your thumb here. Well, I'm going to tell you what color panties you're wearing. There you go. Congratulations.
Right. Well, any good conversation begins with put your thumb here.
Right.
The next one is called BOV2 Turbo.
Oh, boy.
I am not joking. Turbocharging your car $3,000. Pretending that your car is turbocharged, 99 cents.
So to pay for this one.
Yeah, so you can download BOV2 Turbo, and apparently it basically like makes noises and shows like you have like a turbo. Just think that basically like any of the interior cars in the Fast and the Furious series, for 99 cents, you can put this in your car, your, Ford Festiva, and think that it's turbo by the sound effects and what's happening on the phone, but in reality, you're driving a Ford Festiva. So, we're not saying that these are the best apps, but these are certainly the dumbest.
That's what they are. Every week we bring you dumb apps. Jason will find 2 real downloadable apps for you to put on your smartphone, your Android, your iPhone, and make your life better. Again, let us know how we've improved your life. This is episode number 28. It's called Meatball Juice. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful and historic downtown Libertyville, the oldest brew pub in Illinois. Mickey
Some
Finn's
little
Brewery.
Borat on that Finn's part.
I did.
You? Okay.
Well, because you told me how I have to say meatball juice.
Mickey Finn's.
Well, yeah. That's right, Mickey Finn's.
Oh,
my wife. It's the oldest brew pub in Illinois. Check them out, MickeyFinnsBrewery.com. And you know what I'm going to bring you in 2 weeks? I'm going to bring you. You want stout or red? What do you want to try?
They're a sponsor. Can you bring both?
No, I want to bring you one only. That's all we need. Stout or red?
Are you going to have some?
Yeah.
In all honesty, I haven't had either of them, and I would gladly have
either.
Yeah, but what do you think? What do you prefer?
I'll bring the red to start.
Okay. I do like red. I kind of think it's an underrated beer. I really do like reds. I remember drinking Killian's back in the day. I really like red beer. Yeah, good call.
You know what makes there's a, besides Finn's out by me, in Mundelein, there's a brewery called Tighthead. And they make, it's called Scarlet Fire. Their red is it might be.
Great name.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, it might be my favorite red. It's
okay.
really, really, really good. I'll have to grab you a can of that because it's in cans.
I just want to.
It's in cans.
Which,
you can give it a try.
Actually, I don't even know if I've told people on this show before. I prefer beer in cans.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love beer in cans.
I prefer beer in cans in the summertime. Is summertime calls for a beer in a can?
I know bottles get skunky. I like canned beers.
So this is the AFDE show, Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything. It's episode 28, Meatball Juice, back in just a few.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Nothing else matters, not the mortgage, not the store, not my team and all their bullshit. For those 10 seconds or less, I'm free.
Welcome back in. It's episode number 28, Meatball Juice, a Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything. This is the third and final segment of Meatball Juice. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful downtown Libertyville. Check them out, MickeyFinnsBrewery.com. Lots of shenanigans going on this weekend with St. Patrick's Day. They always have a great, great festive day on Friday with a live broadcast. Their beer is out. They're red and they're stout. Get yourself in there. Check them out.
Nice rhyme.
Live entertainment.
You poety bastard.
Thank you. Check them out. Always live entertainment on the weekends. We start off segment 3 with our best tweets of the week. These are from 5 Twitter handles that we follow. And the first one is from a very lovely, lovely woman.
My glasses on.
Oh, there you go. I was
What
going
a
to say.
rook.
Thought you were going over to kiss it.
All right,
Kiss the
Alyssa
screen.
Milano.
Hello, Alyssa.
So this was from yesterday. Yep. Tomorrow, students across the country are walking out at 10 a.m. across time zones to demand Congress take action to stop gun violence impacting all young people and all communities. Show them your support. #enough. womensmarch.com/enough. I recently started following her because, as my wife said, are you following, I follow a lot of girls, our handle follows a lot of ladies with giant boobs because, that's a thing. But I also find them entertaining. But for her, I actually followed her because of what she says. She doesn't really talk about anything other than politics. And I like that.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
this handle is Alyssa_Milano, and it says you get politics and personal here. So if you want to get her personal views, political views, it's all right here for you at Alyssa_Milano on Twitter. Also very cool, just Viacom and the TV stations they own, like Nickelodeon,
Yep.
MTV, etc. They went dead for 17 minutes today. Went silent for 17 minutes. They shut down for 17 minutes at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock to show their support for it. So good
At
stuff.
10
That's pretty cool.
o'clock on the nose today. I was sitting in my room, and Payton was actually in there. You know, he's a big Trish fan, so it's I get some rare Payton time. And we start. It was 10 o'clock exactly, and we live right next to a grade school.
Yep.
And just heard people talking, and walked out, and we looked out the window. Entire school just walking around. I thought it was super cool, but I didn't forget about it. I just didn't know if every school was actually going to do it.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Some of my kids last night in youth group said that they were told by their schools they couldn't walk out. They were told if they walk out, they'll be suspended. One girl, they had papers to sign. The school asked them to sign papers that they wouldn't walk out. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So, yeah, everyone handled it differently. And some kids walked out, some did not.
Super lame.
Yep.
All right, so moving on, we go to The Onion, which they always do something funny, and it's hard to pick through. But what I do like is they don't do like so many things that I can't pick something from a week.
Right.
So this week, the one that I thought was the funniest was proud billionaire helps young son open first offshore bank account. It's just like a douche in a suit with his kid next to it with a pen.
That's
like,
great.
So, clearly, people get that joke. I need to put something in Switzerland. All right, next one. I love this guy, man. I love him. He's for all kinds of reasons. As an actor,
This is great.
As a director, producer, writer, but he is very, 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 very active in political commentary. He's constantly on Bill Maher, but if you follow at Rob Reiner, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Super funny, but it's poignant. It's real.
Yeah.
This tweet is: the White House is the only sinking ship where the rats all stay.
That's great. Really, really funny. That's one you wish you came up with, because that's pretty clever. So true.
Oh man.
So Rex Tillerson out as Secretary of State, and then Trump's personal bagman escorted out of the White House yesterday by police, being investigated for some financial issues not related to Trump at all, but his personal bagman. But here's the great news, though. This is great. This is really, really spectacular.
Oh yeah.
This guy ushered out of the White House, was not allowed to even clean out his personal space, his desk. He's taken out by the police for financial issues not related to Trump. Immediately following this, it is tweeted out by the 2020 re-election campaign committee that he has a job there waiting for him for the re-election campaign. So this is a guy who is taken out of the White House by police and is immediately told
Secret Service,
that
right?
he's going to be working on the 2020 re-election campaign. When you look around and you see the people you associate with are criminals, the people that you put in important positions in government are criminals. If you can't see it, then you're choosing to be ignorant and blind to it. The guy is involved with one criminal after another.
This is just like honestly, I mean, it's like the
unbelievable that he is the president of the United States.
What's it called? Is it? I guess it's the old boys network. Is that what it is?
Sure.
Or like basically the old white guys who run things. This just reminds me of it so much with like companies where people are let go, but they somehow end up on an important board somewhere else. You know, like
just keep
what
in mind
the hell.
Keep in mind, America First, the slogan of the KKK.
Yeah.
So
Wow,
that's all you need to know.
Okay. I'm sure everybody knows who Seth MacFarlane is.
Love Seth MacFarlane.
Funny ass dude, but again, he's been on Bill Maher. He does a lot of political stuff. I really appreciate that these people have brains.
Yeah.
Beyond. Well, you can tell they have brains. Like creative muscles are off the charts. But this was not in response, I guess, in homage to Stephen Hawking passing away last night. I loved the end part. When a brilliant scientific mind like Stephen Hawking also happens to be a great popularizer of science, it's a gift to the world. Here's hoping there are more like him waiting to be known.
Yep.
I love
popularizer of science, and then we have a White House right now that rejects everything science has to offer.
People who know words.
Very cool.
Also cool. Yep. Wait, what was your word today, my friend? It's very impressive.
Oh, obstinate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
I gave the link for the
Did you
definition.
dictionary
I
that?
wasn't,
Did you
no.
dictionary?
I know.
Did you dictionary?
I knew it. I gave the link though, just in case the Twitter people I was conversing with, who were Ronzilla and Turkey Sandwich are their names.
I am shocked that people are like, wait, that's like a 10-point word. I need to Google.
So, yeah.
And apparently they're, I don't know what I just did, like a gay Australian, whatever that voice was.
Whatever you did.
It
worked.
A Gaustralian.
Yeah,
okay.
it worked.
This one, love it so much. As you heard on a previous episode that Matt sang his interpretation of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yep.
We are now following Rick Astley, and it just says, it's a picture of him looking pensive with headphones and his glasses on, putting the finishing touches on the album, ...
Right.
And then it goes on to talk about the tour. But I love this dude. I love that he's still making music.
Yeah.
Because does anyone know anything past that song? I'm going to go with no.
No. Zero.
Nope.
No.
All right, but anyway, Rick Astley, you're the man. We're going to tweet at you. We want you to be a part of our show. We're going to make it happen.
We'll listen to that album.
That
Yeah,
shit
for sure.
happen. All right.
All right, those are all our tweets. Those are
That's
our 5
it, man.
tweets
Yeah.
of the week, which then brings us into this day in history. For us, it is Wednesday, March 14th, and our first day in history takes us to 1879 on March 14th.
All right. Albert Einstein born. What's interesting is on this website, there's like
Sorry about
an
that.
Italian beef and fries.
Yeah, I know.
Makes me very hungry. I don't know what the hell's
It's
going
a
on.
beef and cheddar
Yeah, I'm trying
croissant.
to get past it. Oh, look, it's like in the corner, like you can't escape me.
You watch me, beef and cheddar croissants.
All right, so Albert Einstein born March 14th, 1879.
He's born the son of a Jewish electrical engineer in Ulm, Germany.
Ulm,
Germany. Einstein's theories of special and general relativity drastically altered man's view of the universe, and his work in particle and energy theory helped make possible quantum mechanics and ultimately the atomic bomb. So thanks for that.
Well,
Very cool.
what is it, the movie that I probably watched 15 times now and as usual can't think of the name of?
The Bodyguard.
No, that's you. And I believe your number is triple that.
55.
Yeah. Oh God, it's increased.
I'm gonna
since
stop.
we- it's
I'm gonna
increased
stop
since
there.
we started
I'm
the
gonna
show.
stop there in pay homage and reverence to Doug Buffone. I'm gonna stop at 55 for The Bodyguard.
Good, and for your own health.
And well-being.
Damn it, the movie with Eggs Benedict Cumberbatch.
The Theory of Everything.
No,
How about Doctor Strange?
The Imitation Game.
Imitation Game.
Imitation Game.
Caddyshack.
There's a God, the remake of Caddyshack is with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumberbund.
Yeah, no, Eggs Benedict Cumberbatch. So, but there's a quote in that where, obviously the whole point of the movie and the whole concept was them trying to figure out the Enigma machine that the Nazis were using to
What movie is
communicate.
this?
Imitation Game.
Oh, I never saw it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude. All right, it's on Netflix.
Bodyguard.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. Excellent. I've not steered you wrong.
Is there a good soundtrack? Is there a soundtrack as good as The Bodyguard?
It's a movie about
In the Imitation
smart
Game.
people figuring out the Enigma machine, so probably not.
Probably not.
The hot chick from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies is in it.
The one with the messed up teeth?
I don't know. She's hot. Anyway, there's a quote in it where someone said something about we're trying to end the war in the attack on the Jewish people, to which his response was, every person who is created or responsible for creating the atomic bomb is Jewish, which is a fact. Every single one of them.
So The Imitation Game, is it about Albert Einstein?
No.
Oh.
No. You brought up the atomic bomb.
I didn't bring it up.
The only movie I've ever seen with Albert Einstein is like that bad movie with Meg Ryan, where what's his name?
Brendan Fraser.
No, Jesus. Oh my God, I just saw something with him coming up, but he's actually back in a movie in a television series in a dark role.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No. Who's the guy who married Susan Sarandon?
Jeff Goldblum.
No, Shawshank.
Morgan Freeman.
Yes. No. The main guy in Shawshank.
Yeah, he was in Bull Durham too.
Yeah, so that guy.
He was the pitcher.
That guy. There's a movie called IQ.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really stupid.
What is his name though? Susan Sarandon's husband.
Tim
Robbins.
Timothy Robbins?
Yeah. Tim Robbins.
Okay, Tim Robbins, yeah. Yeah, the funny thing is that we're talking about Einstein, one of the smartest people ever, to this show, two of the dumbest people ever.
Right. All right, so we continue on this day in history.
We have the attention span and memory of of a gnat. Jesus.
Gary Gnu. No news is good news. All right,
man.
so
wow.
March.
Well done.
Thank you.
No news is good news.
March 14th, 1990.
Gorbachev elected president of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, that's great. The Congress of People's Deputies elect General Secretary Mikhail Gorbachev as the new president of the Soviet Union with a thing on his head. While the election was a victory for Gorbachev, it was revealed serious weaknesses in his power. That would eventually lead to the collapse of his presidency in December of 1991. Didn't last all that long. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Well, yeah. What they're referring to, weaknesses in his presidency, was his ability and wanting to have good foreign relations.
Right, I know. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I know. And then they're like, no. We want to hate everyone, so you got to go.
I saw yesterday tweeted out, it might have been Anthony Bourdain, who has some really good tweets, political stuff, and he was like, the Secretary of State had an opinion on international policy. What an idiot. He's like good riddance. Like for the Secretary of State to have like some opinions on international foreign policy. So I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, so Mikhail Gorbachev wanted the thing off his head and wanted good foreign relations with the United States because he liked Ronnie. So
he had like one of the Caribbean islands on his forehead.
March 14th, 1950.
FBI debuts the 10 most wanted list.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was actually, honestly, I thought it was later than this.
So they instituted the 10 most wanted list in an effort to publicize particularly dangerous fugitives. The creation of the program arose out of a wire service news story in 1949 about the roughest guys the FBI wanted to capture. The story,
in quotes,
yeah, the
roughest guys.
Drew so much public attention that the 10 most wanted list was given the okay by J. Edgar Hoover the following year. As of 2011, 465 of the criminals included on the list have been apprehended or located, 153 as a result of tips from the public. I just saw some stand-up talk about this, too, about the 10 most wanted list and why it's always in the post office.
Yeah. And is it the stand-up about the photos in the post office?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to tell you who that is.
Yeah.
I can't even name Timothy Hutton.
Yeah.
No.
Robbins.
I already did name. No, Timothy Hutton is Beautiful Girls is the movie we were talking about earlier.
Oh, there you go. It all comes back around. Whitney Houston.
She's in something.
The Bodyguard.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, so 1950. Yeah, I thought it came out earlier, but apparently not.
Earlier? Yeah. What's interesting is this.
Prior to 1950.
This has become global.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think the biggest global most wanted list would be Interpol.
Yeah, Interpol.
But this obviously holds water across the world.
You know who made Interpol's list was the cast of The Fast and Furious. They were wanted by Interpol.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
It is a thing. We're going to take you from the 10 most wanted, the most roughest guys in the world, and we're going to leave you with an inspirational story. We like to finish off every episode of the AFDE show, and this is episode 28, Meatball Juice, with an inspirational story. And today it comes to us from the goodnewsnetwork.org.
Most weeks, because this is a great website, considering the name. This one I thought was, man, they're all great, but I really like this.
Did I send you an inspirational story? I thought I sent you one.
I don't know. You sent me a lot of stuff. I don't know what the hell.
I sent you an inspirational story.
It was like a picture of poo, and then
no,
the next one,
not that one.
I don't know. The headline is Stranger Sets Off Incredible Chain of Good Deeds That Saved 6 Lives.
6 lives. One stranger's selfless act of unspeakable generosity has resulted in a ripple effect of good deeds that involved at least a dozen people and saved half a dozen lives. 21-year-old Brendan Flaherty had been attached to a dialysis machine and waiting for a kidney transplant for 6 years. When no suitable donors had been found, his friend Philip Carmelli stepped up to volunteer his kidney, but as fate dictated, he was not a match. Meanwhile, a 44-year-old woman named Kimberly Cooper just walked into the hospital one day to sign up to volunteer to give away her kidney, and the computer matched her to young Brendan. Hermelli was so inspired by her eagerness to benefit a stranger that the teen decided to go ahead and donate his kidney too, but it didn't end there. The woman who was a sudden match for his organ,
Clotilde Ruiz.
Yeah, Clotilde Ruiz had a daughter who was so moved that her mom was being saved by a stranger that she decided to offer her kidney too. The same pattern of selfless donation continued until 6 different strangers offered their kidneys to patients at Chicago's Northwestern Hospital
local, buddy.
who were in need of transplants. All had been negative matches for loved ones or friends, but were moved through compassion to help another. On Wednesday, all the people involved in the rare 12-person kidney swap met each other in one room for the first time. Hugs, tears, laughter filled the air. Cooper, the one who began it all, says she hopes the story will encourage more Americans to become living donors, as 100,000 people are currently on the national kidney waiting list in the U.S. She said that she just wanted to be a good Samaritan for a day. 6 people will feel a lifetime of gratitude for that. Wonderful story. That's great.
That's crazy.
Very, very cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
All right. That's all we got, buddy.
Yeah, so that wraps up the inspirational story of the day. And that wraps up episode number 28, Meatball Juice. Remember to tell your friends, family members, co-workers, neighbors all about the AFDE show. Connect with us on Twitter, AFDE show, facebook.com/AFDE show. Big thanks to our good friends at Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine. They sponsor That's So Wisconsin. Check them out, willsnorthwoodsinn.com. And our presenting sponsor is Mickey Finn's, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. MickeyFinnsBrewery.com, on Twitter at Mickey Finns, Facebook.com/Mickey Finns Brewery. They are the oldest brew pub in the state of Illinois. On behalf of Jason, I'm Matt. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you next time. This is the AFDE Show, episode 28, Meatball Juice. Have a great rest of the week. Remember, take care of each other, be kind to a stranger, and love one another. It's Baticola Ferrari. Discuss everything.
Walk out and walk up.
It's right. Walk out and walk up.